Hi, welcome to Drew Code Sports Talk. I am your host, Andrew Wright. Over here to my right, your left, is my co-host, Cody Johnson. And Cody, the offseason in the NFL is upon us. There's only 4 teams left, so it's never too early to talk about the free agents. So let's just start going. All right, Cody. We saw the Cowboys lose to the Rams. Cowboys had a really good run. It was actually, to me, was quite impressive, especially the way they started. I never would have thought they were going to the playoffs and in the divisional round. I just never would have thought that. So I have actually a few questions to ask you about the Cowboys, so if you can answer them all at once.
Let's see.
Okay, first, what are the Cowboys going to do with this offseason? Will they sign Dak to a big deal, or will he give them a discount? The second one is, will Garrett last through next season as the head coach? And the third one, do they re-sign Amari Cooper?
I'm going to answer these going the last question first.
We're going to switch it up.
We're going to go to the snake. All right, here we go. So I think that the Cowboys absolutely should re-sign Amari Cooper. Let's think about this. When they traded for him and they gave up their first-round pick to the Raiders so that way they can give him Cooper, their offense completely turned around. And I don't think that's any coincidence. Thankfully, there was now a more prominent target for Dak to throw to. Clearly, his production went up in terms of both Dak and Cooper, and in result, that also meant Elliott's production still didn't level off because defenses weren't making them one-dimensional where they're making Dak beat them with lower-tier receivers. So for sure, they need to re-sign Cooper in order to have some longevity. Okay, so that's what I definitely think. Now, that leads me into Coach Garrett. I think he's bought himself one more season since he went through the wild card and lost in the divisional round. However, I think if he does not make a wild card or he gets eliminated from the playoffs again, I think he'll make it through the season to answer that one. But I think if he does not go further into the playoffs in the divisional, where they're basically knocking on the championship game or even on the Super Bowl, I think then he should be done. Or I say should, but he probably will be done. That's my feelings on it. I do think he'll last out the whole season. I don't see Jerry Jones firing him mid-season. That's kind of like his adopted son, so to speak. So, well, him and Tony Romo, but I don't see Jerry Jones doing that. And then the final one, will Dak Prescott give the Cowboys a discount? Here's my thoughts. He absolutely should not give them a discount. Okay. I'm not saying that Dak is a franchise quarterback, but what I am saying is he has been a good enough quarterback to still lead them to success post Tony Romo. And even still, there are some seasons that Tony Romo didn't do great. They're majority 8-8, 7-9, 9-7, a couple of wild card appearances here and there, maybe early divisional round losses. However, I think Dak Prescott is a good enough quarterback that if you put the right coaches around him, he will do fantastic. I think, in my opinion, Dak is one good offensive coordinator and head coach away from elevating his game. I almost feel like Garrett is hindering his success in a sense. Just because Garrett has been there for so long and they don't really have any sort of creativity offensively. They're pretty much been the same offense since Tony Romo took over there way back in 2005, I think, if my memory serves me correct. They haven't really switched their identity, and I think in today's game where it's a spread, you got a wide receiver that could lengthen the field. You got to maybe in the draft get some slots, get a couple of maybe get another well-known tight end. Obviously, your defense is fine, so you don't have to worry about that. But I think you need some offensive creativity. Maybe even a quarterback coach to kind of help coach up Dak a little bit differently, give him a different perspective, I think would help out a lot. And I think the Cowboys really need to look into expanding their offense again. And this kind of goes back to, this is why I don't think Dak should give them a discount. If they believe he's a franchise and they're pepping him up, pay him the franchise money, but put some people around him to solidify that. Don't just, okay, we paid you now, succeed more with what you have when you couldn't do it before because it wasn't good enough. Clearly, the coaching and the personnel isn't good enough. You need better. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on that.
All right, I'm going to start with the Dak question first. I'm going to go,
opposite.
Yeah, I'm gonna S the snake draft.
You're gonna S this up?
Yeah, I'm gonna S this up. Listen, because I feel like this actually kind of ties into everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if Dak Prescott is smart, he is not going to ask for the big deal. I feel like he should give them a discount, and here's why. You said that they need people around him. Well, they're not going to be able to re-sign Amari Cooper if they sign Dak Prescott to a big contract.
Mm-hmm.
If he has a contract, even like Derek Carr's,
sure,
it's going to hinder them of signing Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ezekiel Elliott is going to slow down because let's be honest, that offensive line is not as good as it was, 2 years ago?
Right.
I mean, 2 years ago we were talking about they were the best offensive line we've ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden it went down. Obviously, we know that their center went injured, and he may or may not be back. We don't know about that. But I feel like Dak Prescott is the quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is he needs help around him, and it's been proven. Last year, he didn't have that help. Des Bryant was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
And we saw that they couldn't come up with the big wins when they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So then they had this season, and it started off really bad. They trade for Amari Cooper. All of a sudden, something wakes up.
Right.
Because Amari Cooper helped Dak Prescott,
mm-hmm.
and it helped Ezekiel Elliott. So in turn, helped that offense get going.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have that type of offense, you have to give them a discount because in next year, you're going to have to re-sign Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be able to sign him to a big contract and keep him as a Cowboy if you sign Dak Prescott to this huge contract.
Right.
So I feel like if you're Dak Prescott, give them a discount. It's
mm-hmm.
the smartest decision. Tom Brady has done it his whole career,
mm-hmm.
and look at what he does. He does nothing but win. I feel like if Dak Prescott wants to win, not necessarily saying with Jason Garrett, but if Dak Prescott just wants to win,
mm-hmm.
this is the smart decision. Give him a discount. Let the Cowboys sign other guys.
Sure. I think one option, too, or a couple of options. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I know you're not wrapped up yet. I think a couple of options that they could do for Dak or Ezekiel Elliott or Amari Cooper, franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does pay them, I think it is at a certain percentage of the top salary of the position earned or the average.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, he'll be making, $28 million on a 1-year franchise tag. I'm sure he'll be okay signing that to then prove and then see what goes on with the coaching, maybe even move some cap space around. Because I have a feeling that Travis Frederick, their center, is not going to be with the team if he keeps being injured. Yeah. That's a salary dump right there. You draft some rookies, cut, here and there. So anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So as far as Jason Garrett's future, I really felt like this was a good hot take. I'm just kidding. I don't. It depends on, honestly, it really depends on what they do with Dak Prescott and because whatever they do with Dak Prescott is what they're going to do with Amari Cooper, in my opinion. Yes, they could franchise tag him, but let's just say they don't, for example, okay? Mm-hmm. Just to make it better for me. Okay, so they signed Dak Prescott to a big contract. I don't feel like this Cowboys team is going to be as good because they won't have that Amari Cooper threat, mm-hmm. and they're going to have Dak and Zeke again. And it's only good for so long.
Right.
So I feel like either Jason Garrett might get fired. I felt like he wouldn't get fired in the season. It would probably be after the season because Jerry Jones, like you said, that is his adopted son for sure.
Right.
He is not a redheaded stepchild. He is a redheaded
golden child.
Yeah. So, but I feel like a good replacement would be Mike McCarthy. And here's why. Mike McCarthy is the kind of guy, he went away from Green Bay to get away from a quarterback who didn't want to listen to anything that he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. They always butted heads towards the end of the last 2 years. So McCarthy wants a quarterback he can coach. Yeah. Because when he was successful with Aaron Rodgers was way more coachable mm-hmm. than what he is now. And the reason being is obviously because when you get older, you get more confident and yada, yada, yada. And when you're younger, you're not as confident, so you listen to your coaches because you trust them.
Right.
Dak Prescott is still young. We think of him that he's been in this league for, 8 years. He's only been in the league, 3-4 years?
3 years, yeah.
He's still young. He's still learning the game. He's getting better, and I will admit that. Mike McCarthy, and I think Dak Prescott has proven that he is coachable. If you have Jason Garrett as your coach, he's not the greatest offensive mind, as you said. So I feel like if you have Mike McCarthy, that's even better. That's a better offense. And he's been in the big game, and he's won the big game.
Right.
That already earns respect from a quarterback. I think that would be a perfect fit in Dallas.
Right.
And then the third thing, they should re-sign Amari Cooper. Like I said, though, it is going to depend on whether they re-sign Dak Prescott, what they re-sign him to, whether it be a huge contract or if he gives them a discount.
Right.
If Dak gives them a discount, Amari Cooper, I believe, will definitely want to stay in Dallas. I mean, where he is, he was loved in Oakland too.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, we traded him away. So
good job, Rivers.
Yeah, way to go.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for watching. Sorry if it went a little long, but hey, it's all good stuff. I'm just saying. The Mike McCarthy thing, hot take.
Yeah,
I think you need to have as the tag hot take.
We need to take a shot for the time you bring up Mike McCarthy. I gotta be honest. So
it's only been 2 weeks. Give me a break. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit that like button on this video, and also comment below on what you think the Cowboys are going to do. Thanks, guys.